Listen carefully. You know why you're here. Because you feel it, that knowing regret, that unfinished potential, the weight of excuses you carried into 2025. Here's the truth. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody will wake you up. Nobody will lift you off the floor. If you want change, if you want dominance, if you want discipline, you have to take it. You owe it to yourself, and the world doesn't care. Wake up, show up, execute. No negotiation, no hesitation, no compromise. 2025 doesn't wait for the weak. It rewards the relentless, it punishes the unprepared. This is your call to action. The moment you decide, the moment you commit, the moment you stop settling, do it. Or stay the same, because you owe it to you. The grind doesn't care about you. It doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your comfort. It only cares if you show up. You wake up before the sun. The world is dark and quiet. You can feel every ounce of weakness you carried into the night. Your muscles ache, your lungs burn, your mind begs for delay, for compromise, for comfort. Good, that's where change starts. That's where warriors are forged. You throw off the sheets. Cold hits your skin. Silence surrounds you. The alarm doesn't ask permission. The grind doesn't negotiate. You either step into it or remain soft, feet on the floor, spine straight, jaw clenched. The first step is a decision. One foot in front of the other. No hesitation, no excuses. You move because movement is action. Action is discipline. Discipline is freedom. You hit the gym. It's empty, dark, silent. A battlefield disguised as iron and concrete. The weights are indifferent. The mirrors do not applaud. They only reflect truth. And the truth is simple. You're either here or you're not. Barbells, dumbbells, machines, none of it adjusts for your excuses. None of it forgives. Each plate you lift, each rep you grind out, each drop of sweat that stings your eyes is a reminder that weakness is not tolerated here. Not today. Not ever. You lift. Again. And again. Each repetition feels heavier than the last. Your arms shake, your back burns, your legs quiver, your lungs scream. Every fiber of your body fights. Every part of you begs to stop. Good. That is progress. That is growth. That is dominance being forged in the fire of discomfort. You take no shortcuts. You cheat no sets. You compromise no standards. You refuse to let motivation dictate action. Motivation is temporary. Discipline is permanent. Motivation is fleeting. Discipline is legacy. Every set is a battle. Every rep is a victory over weakness. Every drop of sweat is a deposit into the bank of strength, courage, and character. Your body screams, but your mind doesn't negotiate. It commands. It dominates. The 4 a.m. wake-ups become ritual. The soreness becomes familiar. The grind becomes a language you speak fluently. You understand the rhythm of pain, the cadence of effort, and the symphony of sacrifice. Others will sleep. Others will rest. Others will quit. You will not. The early mornings, the cold showers, the extra mile, all of it builds you. It builds muscle. It builds mindset. It builds the version of yourself that doesn't flinch, doesn't hesitate, doesn't negotiate. You own this battle. Every set, every rep, every drop of sweat is a declaration. Weakness will not survive here. Excuses are dead. Comfort is the enemy. And you are relentless. The grind teaches you something every single day. Life does not pause. Life does not wait. Opportunities do not linger. If you do not move, if you do not act, if you do not dominate, the world will crush you. And that's the point. Pain is information. Discomfort is instruction. Failure is a lesson. You take the lesson. You execute. You rise. Your body grows. Your mind sharpens. Your character solidifies. You become the person who does not negotiate with weakness. The person who owns their morning, their day, their life. The grind is relentless. You meet it with relentless. The grind is merciless. You answer with discipline. The grind will break lesser men. You welcome it. Because you are built for war, built for pain, built for domination. And when the world opens its eyes, you are already miles ahead. Already stronger, already disciplined, already prepared. That is the grind. That is the forge. That is how the man who owes it to himself in 2025 is built. This is the mindset of the warrior. This is the grind that separates those who do from those who watch. This is where excuses die, where weakness dies. Where you rise? The loudest battlefield is inside your head. No one sees it. No one applauds it. No one cares about it. It is silent. It is brutal. It is relentless. The enemy is not the weights. The enemy is not the alarm clock. The enemy is you. Your mind, your doubts, your excuses, your hesitation. You're tired. You can skip today. You're not strong enough. Just rest. You deserve it. That voice is poison. That voice is weakness. That voice is the reason most men never leave mediocrity behind. But you are not most men. Discipline is forged here, in this invisible war. In the quiet, when no one is watching, when your body is screaming and your mind is begging you to quit, you fight it with action, not words, not promises, not plans. Action. You wake up, you move, you fight, you train, you work, you push. Every time you crush that voice, you gain ground. Every time you override that whisper, you reclaim territory. Every time you refuse comfort, you take power. Your mental toughness is built the same way your body is built, rep by rep, set by set, day by day, grind by grind. The inner war is merciless. It shows no mercy. It tests you in the morning when the alarm hits. It tests you midday when fatigue strikes. It tests you at night when your bed feels like salvation. And in each test, you decide, do I bow or do I rise? You rise. You look the voice in the eye. You do not negotiate. You do not compromise. You do not listen. You act. Pain is temporary. Weakness is optional. Strength is forged in the fire of relentless refusal to quit. Discipline is carved into the soul of the man who refuses to surrender. You will feel fear. You will feel hesitation. You will feel doubt. That is normal. That is human. But human is not good enough. Not in 2025. Not if you owe it to yourself. You are a warrior. A disciplined soldier of your own life. You command your actions. You control your decisions. You dominate your weaknesses. No one can do this for you. No one can fight your battles. No one can silence that inner voice but you. You must attack it relentlessly, brutally, calmly, with purpose. Every victory over your mind multiplies your power in the gym, in your work, in your life. Every refusal to quit strengthens your spine, your will, and your soul. Silence is your ally. Pain is your teacher. Discipline is your weapon. You will be tempted to rationalize, to delay, to negotiate. Do not speak to weakness. Do not give it shelter. Do not grant it life. Crush it. Own it. Dominate it. This is where real transformation occurs. Not in comfort. Not in applause. Not in half-hearted effort. But here in the dark, when your body aches and your mind begs for relief, when the inner war is at its fiercest, that is where warriors are born. When you step out of this war intact, you are unstoppable. When you conquer your mind, your body follows. When you dominate your weakness, the world bends to your discipline. The inner war is never over. It never ends. It is constant. It is eternal in you. You will fight it every day, every moment, until your last breath. Because you owe it to yourself, because you owe it to 2025. Because a warrior does not surrender. There's a moment in every journey where the old you starts to suffocate, where your comfort collapses, where your excuses lose their grip. Most people never reach this point because they tap out long before it arrives. They bail the second discomfort hits. They retreat the moment progress demands sacrifice. But if you're still here, listening, pushing, then you're not most people. You're on the edge of the breakthrough. This moment never announces itself. It isn't dramatic. It doesn't come with fireworks or applause. It hits quietly. You're in the gym. You're exhausted. You're drenched in sweat. Your lungs are screaming. Your muscles are burning. Your mind is wobbling. And suddenly, something shifts. You push one more rep, and you realize nothing broke. You didn't collapse. You didn't die. The limits you feared weren't real. They were walls your mind built to protect your laziness. This is the breakthrough. When you stop negotiating with weakness and start punishing it, your identity starts changing. Your standards rise. Your tolerance for your own bullshit drops. You start seeing the truth. The body is willing. It was always the mind that was weak. And the second you stop giving that weakness oxygen, everything accelerates. You start waking up earlier because you're done with excuses. You start training harder because you're done with mediocrity. You start eating cleaner because you're done lying to yourself. Discipline becomes less of a chore and more of a default. Pain becomes familiar. Hard becomes normal. Effort becomes instinct. You don't chase motivation anymore. You manufacture momentum. This is where the world starts noticing, not because you're bragging, not because you're showing off, but because your energy changes, stronger, sharper, heavier. People feel the difference before they see it. Your presence hits harder. Your focus tightens. Your drive becomes undeniable. Because once you break through, you're not driven by emotions anymore. You're driven by mission. You stop waiting for the right mood. You stop caring about comfort. You stop looking around for permission. You move with force. You move with intent. You move with a sense of duty. You understand the hidden truth. There is no finish line. There is no perfect timing. There is only now, only work, only discipline. The breakthrough is not a reward, it's a responsibility. You've proven you can push. Now you're expected to push harder. You've proven you can endure pain. Now you're expected to weaponize it. This is where you separate yourself permanently. This is where average men fall off because the grind is too consistent. And this is where you rise because the grind is your oxygen. When you break through once, you realize you can break through again and again and again. You become a threat to your old life, a threat to your excuses, a threat to your weakness, because now you know the limit was a lie, the fear was fake, the barrier was imaginary. You've crossed the point of no return. You're not here to try. You're not here to hope. You're here to build, transform, dominate. The breakthrough doesn't give you strength. It exposes the strength you've been hiding from yourself. It pulls it to the surface. It forces you to own it. And once it's out, you never want to go back because you've tasted what it feels like to be the version of you that doesn't quit, the version that doesn't fold, the version that doesn't bow. That version is the real you. And now it's your job to protect it every single day. The breakthrough is the death of the old you and the birth of the one you were supposed to become. There comes a point where you stop searching for the easy path and start building the hard one, where you stop wishing for strength and start earning it, where you stop asking for motivation and start commanding discipline. That point is now, right here, right in front of you. This is where you adopt the code. Not a slogan, not a trend. A way of life, written in sweat, carved in pain, and enforced by action. Listen carefully, because this isn't theory. This is application. This is execution. This is war. And you're the one leading it. One, Y-O-U, so-B-O-U-P. No, Matt Tarbon. The code doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care if you slept badly, fought with someone, or aren't in the mood. The code demands presence. Every day. Every rep. Every second you're alive. If you're breathing, you're working. If you're awake, you're improving. No excuses, no negotiations, no skip days. Weakness loves negotiation. The strong don't negotiate. 2. Yo, Cointero, yo, RCL. Self-control is the highest form of power. If you can't control your diet, you can't control your mind. If you can't control your urges, you can't control your direction. If you can't control your habits, you can't control your life. Your emotions are not in charge. Your cravings are not in charge. Your comfort is not in charge. Discipline owns the throne now. Every decision you make from this moment forward must pass one test. Does this make you stronger or weaker? If it makes you weaker, it's out. Simple, cold. Effective. 3. OE embrace, THE hard page. Most people avoid difficulty their entire lives. That's why most people remain average. You don't avoid the hard path. You hunt it. You wake up early because it's hard. You train when you're tired because it's hard. You push past comfort because it's hard. And the more you choose the difficult path, the more unbreakable you become. Hard is the gate. Hard is the filter. Hard is the separator. And you're choosing it willingly. 4. Why die I for paradise ion? Your goals don't need votes. Your discipline doesn't need validation. Your ambition doesn't need approval. Stop waiting for support. Stop asking for motivation. Stop expecting applause. Move. Act. Execute. You don't need anyone to believe in you. You don't need anyone to hype you up. You don't need anyone to clear the path. You're the weapon. You carve your own path. 5. Master THCNC. The loudest battles happen inside your head. And the only way to win them is in silence. When the voice whispers, stop, you respond with action. When it says, it's enough, you give more. When it says, you can't, you prove it wrong. Silence is where discipline sharpens, where habits settle, where identity shifts. You don't need noise, you need control. You need precision. 6. While you die, I can have a Monterey ass. Weak habits, weak people, weak environments, weak excuse. Cut them. Cold, surgical, immediate. Anything that drains your discipline is the enemy. Anything that weakens your mind is the enemy. Anything that stops your growth is the enemy. The code is simple. If it doesn't strengthen you, it has no place in your life. 7. YOUIVROS. Every day is an opportunity. Every rep is a vote. Every action is a declaration of who you are. Your purpose is not comfort. Your purpose is not pleasure. Your purpose is not shortcuts. Your purpose is improvement. Your purpose is progress. Your purpose is potential fulfilled. You were not built to drift. You were built to direct. to aim, to fight, to rise. The mission is simple: become the strongest, sharpest, most disciplined version of yourself. Not for applause, not for attention, not for likes, for you. Because you owe it to yourself, not your future self, not your ideal self, not some fantasy version of your life. You owe it to the you who wakes up every day and has to live with the consequences. You owe it to the you who was tired of being tired. You owe it to the you who was sick of mediocrity. You owe it to the you who finally said, enough. That version of you, the one who demanded better. He's depending on you now. He's watching, he's waiting, and he expects execution. Final order, stand up. Straighten your back. Tighten your jaw. Lock in. You know what needs to be done. You know the mission. You know the code. Now you live it. Every day. Every hour. Every decision. No excuses. No softness. No surrender. You owe it to you. And starting right now, you pay that debt.